It's what? Bias for us.
No, don't forget it. Yes,
Okay.
thank you. Can I use your phone?
Here, take this.
I know.
That'll be fun.
Welcome everybody. It's mine. You can. Okay, fine. Welcome everybody. Yay! I would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who came, and everyone who's joining us from afar, from near and afar. I also want to make a huge thank you to Adina, to Chani, to Bracha, and especially to Naomi, Mrs. Schleifer. And there is a Baruch Hashem. Today, tonight's event is for Refuah Shlema for Bat Sheva Rivka Bas Shoshana. May she have only gesund. Hopefully she's out of surgery and everything went well and she's going to recover beautifully and she's going to have a lot of nachas from her children and her grandchildren, and may she share with all of us in the greatest simcha in Yerushalayim with Mashiach right now. Let's go make dips in Yerushalayim. I also want to announce a beautiful thing. We are, as of today, it seems that we have been able to find a place to call home for living Chassidus. It's not our end result, which is Mitzvah Hashem is going to happen very soon, but it definitely is a wonderful start, and more information will come. If you know of anyone who would like to either join our Chai Club or add to their Chai Club by giving more, or even someone who would be interested in donating in a larger scale, please let us know, because now we have a wonderful place to pay for, call home. And yeah, Baruch Hashem, let's keep doing this king in the field. So the reason why I asked Naomi to speak for us today, and to, there she goes, and to share with us her incredible recipes is because Naomi is a wonderful part of our Shabbos Gems program. So Baruch Hashem, over the past few years, we've realized that sometimes single girls, and even now, Baruch Hashem, we have couples that are joining our Shabbos Gems program, they may have a hard time finding meals for Shabbos, and how much more so for Yom Tov. And now with the upcoming holidays, there's a whole bunch of meals that people are going to be looking for. So Baruch Hashem, we've been helping people find families, and what we say is that it's not about the food per se, it's about making that bond, making that connection with that person, with the family. So Naomi, not only has she been my really close friend for the past few years, but also she has become a huge part of all of our Living Chassidus family due to everybody being able to go to her house for Shabbos and absolutely loving her family, and her cooking. So the thing I hear in regards to cooking the most about are her delicious dips. So I figured we could ask Naomi, not only can she inspire us in general as humans, because she's amazing, but also how much more so she can give us some practical tips into the life of a Jewish woman in everyday now.
No pressure.
And here she comes.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Okay, so it's actually kind of great that there's not such a huge crowd here. It's less intimidating that I can only see the phone. So hi and welcome. Okay. We're going to be making 3 dips today. I think why, besides that they taste good, why I think people like my dips is because there's no mayo in any of my dips. And why that's great if you're health conscious. I have mayo in my house. I use mayo. I like mayo. I just don't use them in my dips. But also, mayo and dips, they don't freeze well. And part of that is due to the eggs. They separate, they coagulate, gets a little funky. Okay, so the first one we're going to make today is roasted red pepper dip. Now, usually when I make roasted red pepper dip, I do 12 to 15 peppers at once because, as I said, they freeze really well. So then I break them up into containers, and then each week I can go shopping in my freezer for my own dips along with chicken soup. Yes, that is the only way to live, is not making everything fresh every single week. It's just too much. Okay, so here we have 4 red peppers. Now, here's the thing about red peppers. There are people who are more professional than I am and fancier than I am, and they will say that you have to separate the skin of the red pepper from the flesh. I don't think so. Unless you're willing to wait as long as I waited. These were cooked at they were done 3 o'clock, then put in a bag to build up the moisture. That was how long it would take to be able to remove this. And then sometimes if you overcook them, then you can't remove the skin. So I'm just showing you this. I don't remove it. I like that it's like a little chunky, that I don't have to look professional. We're not doing a photo shoot over here and nobody cares. And I like that there's definitely something in the skin. Hashem put the skin there for a reason. I wash it. Let's leave it that way. Okay, so my dips all have something in common. I use lemon. I used to be snobby and I used to only use fresh lemon, and that is very time consuming. And a lot of garlic. So I apologize, and salt. Not a lot of salt. I'm also a salt snob. I'm also a very big salt snob. A lot of regular table salt has aluminum in it. So yes, you have to, it's a little mind-blowing. Once you transfer over to, this is from the red box. It's called the kosher salt, but all that's in here is salt. And because it's larger granules, it doesn't stick together as badly, and that's why they put aluminum, because it's an anti-caking agent. Yes, and let me tell you, once you transfer to no aluminum salt, other salt is nasty. So, sorry, I'm like the person who likes to burst everyone's bubbles. Next, we'll talk about deodorant. Okay.
I have a solution for you.
Okay, so we have 4 freshly roasted red peppers in here that were cut in half. They were deseeded, and I put them on a parchment lined real tray, which does have aluminum in it, but to help with cleanup, I use unbleached parchment paper. Hello ladies, come in, sit down, have some crackers, make a bracha. And using the parchment paper makes cleanup much easier. I have never worried about or stressed that my baking pans get dirty. They get dirty no matter what you do, no matter how well you clean them, and it's just not worth it to stress over them because it just shows that you use them. Okay, so the oven was set at 350, and these cooked roughly for 30 to 40 minutes. How I know that they're done is basically the bottom here. If you see here, it's a little black, it's a little charred. And that's from contact, which only happens, it's not going to happen with a disposable aluminum tray. You'll never get a crust like this in anything. You'll never get real nice crustiness with a disposable aluminum tray. So you'll see that. You'll see the juices come out, and there'll be there'll be a little bit of a black ring, but there's nothing wrong with that. And the tops will be slightly wrinkly, because when you take them out and they cool, they get really wrinkly. See a nice wrinkle. That's what happens when you don't wear sunscreen. Don't use sunscreen either. No. Okay. I'm way crunchier than you guys knew. Okay. So I like things really garlicky. Halachically, you can ask your Rav yourself. I like to use this I don't have time. I really don't have time to peel garlic. This garlic comes with a hechsher, and the garlic still has what's called the head. So it's not considered uncovered. The second this becomes uncovered, it has to have what's referred to as another covering, which is olive oil or salt. The same applies to onions. So they cannot be left out overnight uncovered, and eggs also. And even in the refrigerator, it's considered uncovered. And things like that are uncovered, they attract tuma. So keep your garlic covered. Only cut off, I already cut this one, only cut the head off right before you're done. We're gonna put in 4 in a batch. So I said that I usually do 12 to 15, 16 at a time, depending on how big and how beautiful and how they look. I would do a lot more garlic. It has to also depend on your taste. People think that raw garlic is really intense. It's not actually so intense if you're eating it raw, but when it gets mixed with other things, it does mellow out over time and the taste matures. That's a nice way to use that word. We have mature garlic over here. Okay, this is one of my favorite things in the world, techina. Techina tastes like, as I'm always telling my kids, tastes like peanut butter, but it's better than peanut butter. Okay, even though I have peanut butter in my house also. Okay, so people will ask me, is it paste? This is not paste. Basically, it doesn't have anything in it. It's just 100% crushed sesame seeds, tahini paste. Okay, this is paste. But the thing is what I imagine sometimes paste is very, very thick, whereas this is quite runny. You'll see like when I pour it in. In the directions I said, I believe I said like a quarter cup. Yeah, I said a quarter cup of tahina. I just eyeball everything. So don't be scared. Michal, don't be scared. Okay, always clean the edges of your container. As my father would say, keep it clean, keep it neat. It's gonna lick it. I already had a cracker before, so I already said a bracha. Okay, and also salt. Salt, and we'll do some lemon juice. Salt is the same thing. I know how much salt I like, and since I do this, I do these like once a month. So I don't have to think. I had to think really hard about the proportions for you guys. Lemon juice. If you want to be really, really creative, you could also get yourself some Meyer. What would really kick this up would be some Meyer lemons. Meyer lemons are a sweeter lemon. They're not as sour. And what you can do with Meyer lemons, they look the same. They can be a little bit more orange, except they generally come, like at the marketplace is the only place I've been able to find them locally, is they come in a bag and they say Meyer lemon. What's really cool about Meyer lemons is you can preserve them and make something called preserved lemons. And how you preserve them is you have to wash the outside really well to get any pesticides and bugs and whatever off. And then you slice them and put salt in, and it basically draws the juices out. And the gold of Meyer lemons is the peel. So after they preserve for like 4 to 6 weeks, I think it takes, they last pretty long in the refrigerator after that. They add like this salty, tangy sweetness that you cannot match in anything else. So if you don't want to do that, that's another demo, is you could take a little bit of lemon zest, and that would be really nice in this. Also, that would add like another dynamic level. If you don't really like lemon, or if you want something different from the other dips, you could use lime. You have to use less lime because lime is a stronger flavor. I think that's why Hashem made them smaller than lemons. Okay, we have everything in here. Close your ears. Sorry about the sound over the phone. Oh, it's not so bad. It's much louder in it's going to be loud when I do the nuts. Okay. And since I'm doing such a small proportion, it goes pretty fast. When you get engaged in Mirz Hashem, register. When you get engaged in Mirz Hashem, if you're not married yet, register for a food processor. Do your own research. I don't know if I get this one again, but they don't last forever. The warranty, whatever, it's like a year. Fine. Okay, so this is what it's going to look like. Because of the techina, it's pink. Okay, and deliciousness. To really get your gold out, I forgot it at home, I knew I was going to, is a spatula. Lots and lots of spatulas. Okay. Now, we always call these dips, but I don't usually eat them with challah on Shabbos. I like putting them on my salmon. I like putting them on my salad. I like putting them on my gefilte fish. Yeah, it's just good stuff. I literally just sprinkle it over my salad like it's meant to be there. And because I'm techina obsessed, generally my salad dressings are made with techina also. You can make a really good salad dressing with techina. My blood type, I'm O positive. Oh, you can't have techina? Oh. Mary's crackers are shackle. It's all shackle. There's a little more of gold in here. Hold on. We don't want to lose this. This stuff is good stuff. Maybe if we're really nice, we'll give it to the 10th grade girls next door. Or you'll just, I hope you got containers. That was one thing that I was like, no more space in my bags. We'll figure out a way. When there's a will, there's a way. Oh, we'll just put it back in the Ziploc bag with that the juices came in. Yeah. Okay. Potato starch. That is the sink over in the corner. Yeah. That's okay. The lid can, yeah, they don't need that part. Okay. So I guess I'm supposed to talk between. Okay. Are you eating it? Okay, eat it. And you can eat it. I just thought you said you weren't going to eat it. That's why I was like, are you going to eat it? Okay, I can't wait. Okay, so basically, say I make this sprinkle. I'm not trying to tease you guys by talking about stuff that I'm not making now and I didn't bring with me. But I basically make what I call a vegan sprinkle. We just call it the sprinkle in my house. Who wants the sprinkle? You put it on like chicken and stuff like that. It's cashews, salt, garlic powder, and nutritional yeast. And it tastes like cheese. So one of the qualities of like things like nuts, which we're going to do that one next, pistachios and cashews have a quality of a cheese type of quality. And so does techina. It adds like a creaminess that you just, I had a guest once who did not eat the salad Shavuos night because he thought I had put cheese on top of the salad. Yeah. And you're like, and I was like, really like, maybe he just doesn't like how the salad looks. I had like just met him. And then my husband goes, oh, does anyone want more of this vegan sprinkle on their salad? And the guy was like, what? And I was like, it's vegan Parmesan. It tastes like Parmesan. So you can have your chicken pizza and Parmesan too. Pizza made out of cauliflower. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it exists. And then you put chicken on it. It's insane. It's insane. Thank you so much. Okay. Can we just do that in my kitchen though? Then I won't forget anything. Sorry, as I said, I made a bracha earlier. So. Okay. Now this one you cannot eat on Rosh Hashanah because we don't eat nuts on Rosh Hashanah. We don't eat nuts on, that's correct. Now the reason why we don't eat nuts on Rosh Hashanah, I believe has to do with the same reason why we don't eat other stuff like before, certain foods before a fast. Because I think nuts can produce mucus. Is that what it has to do with? And so it makes it harder, can make a person's davening difficult. Oh, can you say it again really loud so we can hear you? Chet and egel? Egos, nuts. Right, so some people will say, oh, well, you just can't have almonds. No, it's all nuts. Except for peanuts, because they're not a trina. I'm kidding. Walnuts? Okay, so this is how I measure this recipe. Okay. Okay, so this is 2 bunches of pre-washed that I washed myself. Because that stuff in the store that comes, there could be a lot, there's probably pesticides on this also. But there's also the greenhouse grown stuff. I don't know, I just don't buy it. Okay, so here's the thing about parsley that doesn't smell like anything. The cilantro is very aromatic. Basically, when I bought a challah bowl like a few months ago because I didn't have any bowls that could contain my 5-pound challah batch. Like they would just explode all over the place. And I was like getting committed to making 5 pounds every week so I could say the bracha. It's a lot. And then I always have every single week. I did it for Refuah Shlema for Devorah's mother. Yeah, it's a big commitment. And like, yeah, as I told like Hannah like 2 weeks ago, I'm like, okay, no, I'm really depressed and I don't want to make challah anymore. This bowl is like this big. Okay, if you can see that. And it's like this deep because I could make like 15 pounds of challah and it probably still would not explode out of it. But the side point of that is it's really great for washing herbs because then you have a lot of room and you can like pick up the herbs to dump out the water. Whereas before it's like I had this one bowl that was like maybe a gallon, and it was like really difficult to wash herbs in it. I had to do it in really small batches. I anyway still do it in smaller batches, but I had to do it in such small batches. It was very annoying. Okay, you want to cut off the bottom part of the stem. So generally when you buy herbs, they're wrapped up in a rubber band. You want to cut above the rubber band because too much stem will make it taste grassy. And while it will be edible, it just will have an odd taste to it that you won't really enjoy, especially with cilantro. It's much stronger with cilantro. And cilantro, like I didn't go all the way to Empire Kosher today. I went to Mr. Green's, and the cilantro, the way cilantro is taken out is it's taken out with stem. Like it's still attached at the bottom. It's not cut, and it has all the dirt in it. So that's a whole nother level of like, you have to wash it so many times to get all the dirt off. And then you have to like do your washes for checking. So generally washing for herbs, if you have a clear bowl is better, and like a light checking table, is washing with your soap. I use Veggie Wash because the flavor isn't strong. Anyway, you should be washing it well enough. But it's also like really against traditional soaps. That's a whole other thing. Anything with like a perfume in it, like a real perfume, like a real petroleum-based thing that like really leaves a strong smell on your hands. I remember babysitting for someone, in their bottle, I could not get the smell out of the bottle. I like did not want to give it to the baby, even though it was like from their house, because the smell was so strong and just didn't go away. So I use 7th generation. That's just what I use for now. It has a hechsher on it. Okay, so this is washed and checked. This was fairly clean. The parsley is generally fairly clean. Sorry. The cilantro, on the other hand, is really dirty because of the dirt, and a little bit harder. But the bunches are also much, much bigger. So I actually probably would have bought one more bunch of parsley, but I didn't like really scrutinize my bunches. That sounds really weird. I didn't scrutinize my bunches. Okay. If you're not committed to this much, then what are you committed to in life? I don't know. Okay. So this is 2 bunches of lovely, lovely cilantro. You guys want to come up and smell this? It smells so good. Okay.
You seriously just let them know?
I just shove it in. Like she had a name. Her name might be Martha. Come on, Martha. No. You can do it.
I do not know.
This is how she does it every week. Good girl. I mean, whenever I make stuff, this is generally like, I put more in there that's like normal or healthy. Okay, like I said, I eyeball it. Also, is to bring out the natural flavors of the food and enhances the natural flavors of the pistachios, of the cilantro, of the parsley, of the lemon, of the garlic. That's the job of salt. When you add too much salt, then it tastes salty. Does that make sense? So it's not you're not trying to make it taste salty. You're trying to enhance the flavor of everything else. Okay. So I think I said 4, but since I'm going to add like 6, but that's because the cilantro are so lush. Yes, they're just so beautiful and lush. Also, I don't know if you saw how I was storing. Oops. Okay. I didn't put that. I don't need it. Pick it up later. Herbs like to be stored in a kind of like wet, dry type of situation. Okay. So I wash them, and then if I was going to store them long-term use, I just did it also. I don't have a salad spinner anymore. My kids played with it and it broke for years and years and years. Is storing it with really trying to like shake it out, wring it out, let it like drip dry in a sieve or a colander. And wrapping it up in paper towel because it will help keep the moisture away from it, but also keep somewhat of a moist situation inside of the bag, which they also like. So if that's really confusing, sorry. Also, other things like other green, leafy green, like salad items, like spinach, they also like to be taken out of their original bag, put into a Ziploc bag with a lot of air. They like a lot of air in there with them, and paper towel. That'll help it stay longer. No, I'm not a genius. I just learned things the hard way. Then you read like things like Pinterest and you're like, oh my gosh, everything I wanted to know about spinach? Yes, tell me. Okay, don't look. Oh, what is the great thing about lemon and herbs? Who knows the answer? It keeps them green and they don't turn black. Otherwise they'll turn black. I call this pesto. Someone was like arguing with me not so long ago. They're like, well, it's not really pesto because it doesn't have basil in it. And I'm like, I like basil, but I also don't like basil because it's such a fickle, difficult herb to deal with. Like, even if you add a whole bunch of lemon, it's still, and you can't really add so much lemon. Also, if you notice, my pesto does not have any olive oil in it. That's up to you. If you want a runny or thick, you'll see that it comes out thicker, but I really like it that way. I like that it's like spreadable, and yeah, if you really, really are committed to like a runny pesto that's easy, that's not really pesto, make garlic. That'll also change your life. Yeah, like 5 cloves of garlic that are raw with even dried parsley to make it really easy, salt and oil, olive oil, real olive oil. Real olive oil is green. If it says it's light olive oil, it's not just olive oil, it's other oil. Yep, sorry. Another bubble burst.
Keep going.
I like avocado oil for that reason. It's good if you want to fry. It's good for frying. It has a very high burn point, or low. Oh, I never called her Martha before. This is really funny. Okay. This is what I do at home. Come on. I don't have patience. I don't have patience for this business. Can everyone hear me? They can hear me? Okay. You know what it needs? Oh, but when it's time to register for your wedding, definitely look into, what's it called? What's it called? Vitamix, because Vitamix does everything. And as you need it, and the motors last much longer because they're designed for high performance use. They're designed for professional kitchens. And you can buy more than one cup for like $50 a piece from their website. So you could have like a parv, a milchig, a fleishig, not a pesach. Pretty sure that would be a problem. This is usually the part where I do stuff that's scary like this. Don't look. Now, if you stick metal down, it's less likely to be broken up by the metal, right? You put a wooden spoon down, which I've done before, then you're like, you think that wood will be growing for people, or should I just throw it out and start over again? I always throw it out and start over again. I remember making a smoothie and I was like, oh man, that was a big chunk of my wooden spoon. Don't do stupid stuff like me. It never gets you anywhere good. Oh, yes, this takes a long time at my house also. Oh, I smell the lemon. It smells good. I hope the wait is worth it. If you guys don't get anything. I wasn't trying to be a chief. I'm sorry. You just come over. What's the address? We're on President Street between Kingston and Brooklyn. At Robotsker's house. If you don't know where that is, You should know. There is a 10th grade. There's a 10th grade for bringing happening in front of us on the other side of the wall. We're beating them right now. Look at them. Look at it go. Go, Martha, go. I just named her Martha. That was like right on the spot. I'm probably never going to call it Martha ever again. Okay. I did. What? What? That I'm never going to call her Martha. They think I'm crazy all the time. Actually, they think I'm normal. They don't know what. They have everything else to gauge it against. I say, sorry, Charlie. They're like, who's Charlie? No, I had a car. Honda. And her name was Fonda. The Honda. LaFonda the Honda. I'll turn it off. LaFonda the Honda. Okay, we're coming together nicely. Coming together very nicely. If you really wanted to be brave, you could also put techina in. Now, the thing about your techina-based dips, techina solidifies a little bit in the refrigerator also. So say you put it in on Friday. You want to take it out like a good half hour before you serve, just to let them like loosen up a little bit. You'll know right away if you didn't put lemon in here, because it'll be like black. But there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that really how we eat is we eat based on how things look, right? I only became more sensitive to that after I got married, because my husband is like really sensitive to how things look. And I was like, what do you mean you don't like the fat all around the chicken? I love the fat. Okay. Ooh, looking really good. Okay. Also, with this one, this is for something else. My hands are clean. Okay. It's scraping down the sides. I didn't bring all my tools with me. That's good. Oh, it's salty. Oh, I'm really lemony. Oh, thank you. It's really lemony. I love lemon. I really do love lemon. You can eat lemon. You can eat lemon. Yeah, that's the only thing. Don't eat this before a date unless you're bringing a toothbrush with you. You still have dates with your husband and he doesn't care. I think I went through my whole birthday dinner with my husband and he didn't tell me that I had like food in my teeth. Okay, let's serve. Assistant number one.
Yes.
Okay, you're definitely gonna be able to take some of this home.
Mm-hmm. Anybody wants to pass up the other ones?
I'm warning you, it's a little salty and it's really lemony.
It usually gets better over
Yes,
a few days.
yes it does.
I know that whenever I just stop, I'm like, just wait a day or two.
Yes, and like the lemon just gets better. Better and better and better. Okay, definitely need to put this somewhere.
Yeah, I'll figure it out.
Do we have other plastic bowls? Okay. Look at this. Ooh. Oh, when they're shaking their heads, they're so pleased. Now, if you don't like cilantro, you would hate this dip. Right, Rivka? She's not watching.
I don't like seafood and I like this dip.
What?
So good.
Now, you don't like cilantro because it tastes like soap? Oh, that's not the, there's like the, I have a friend, one of my best,
I like cilantro.
I love cilantro. I have one of my best friends made herself get over cilantro. She was like, I want to know what the hype is about. I want to know what the hype is about. She got over it and she puts it in like everything, I think. Are you watching, Shayna? Whoa!
Is she? Yes.
She hated cilantro and she was always like, I don't get it. I don't get why people like it. I want to know what the big deal is. Also, okay. By the way, we can pretend like I'm neater at home. I'm not. Yeah, you could try. I did. You just didn't see me do it. I did all the prep of washing at home, and that has a much bigger stem at home. So you want to cut that off at home. Thank you, assistant. Here's another really great side benefit to cilantro. It helps remove heavy metals from your body. Yay! Yes. Okay, see, this is what you guys do not want to see me cook. It's like a hazardous
I'm happy
scene.
to see it. I don't know if I want to clean after you.
No, I clean it up. My husband's always like, if you just cleaned while you worked, it might be easier. I'm like, my mind does not work like that. My mind does not work like that. Can anyone throw me a Mary Gun cracker? I want to eat some myself. Now, I'm pretty sure, oh, that's a lot of Mary's crackers. I heard that she called it Mary's Gone Crackers because when she started making them, everyone said she had gone crackers. And that's why she named it that.
Oh, so clever.
Who knows? It might have just been a PR thing. Mm-hmm. If you don't know what Mary's Gone Crackers are, you have to buy them. And what's really good and softer is the Mary's Gone Crackers, super seeds.
Oh, I didn't know.
Those are like newer. They're so good. And if I don't hide them, not like I purposely hide things from my kids, but sometimes I have to purposely hide them, thank you, for their own good. They will eat a box of Mary Gone Crackers. The four of them will sit on the rug Shabbos day. Because they'll just sit and eat a box of Mary's Gone Crackers with they'll eat them plain, whatever. You're like, look, we're sharing. They have like a container of cream cheese, and they're like, that was eat them with cream cheese or eat them with expensive cheese. Whatever. Okay, I'm having one more and then we're moving on.
You hear what Esty said?
Uh-uh.
That's repeat about your the mayo. So if I just saw this pesto dish, I would think it was mayo.
Just looking at it?
It's so creamy and
Because
delicious.
it's so tangy.
It's the pistachios.
It's so cool.
Because pistachios. Thank you, Benzies.
No sponsors.
It's not right. It's not sponsored by them, but I couldn't find pistachios anywhere else. They're
Schleifer family.
what?
Sponsored by the Schleifer family.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that lemon will mellow over time, but it's a nice kick in the mouth right now. I like a good kick in the mouth from food. Okay, you only get, you've been kicked in the mouth, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait till you have kids.
Yeah, wait till you have kids. You get sneezed in your mouth, you get kicked in,
Yeah.
you get kicked in places that are just that is not appropriate. Okay, my husband last week, I don't know if you can see them or they're mostly healed, my scabs. My husband was like, what happened to your face? And I was like, the baby grabbed my face. He goes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that's 5 nails. And I was like, yeah, the whole hand. I had to cut his nails. But it's do you just let them scratch you? No, he moves really fast and his grip is really, really strong. And he knows it hurts and that's why he does it, because he's upset. But it's either that or go through the torture of cutting his nails. Oh my gosh, you would think it's I'm abusing my children. But I've had one kid who just would be like, okay, ooh, eggplant. Eggplant is so great. I love eggplant. Sometimes it makes my mouth feel like it's on fire, but I eat it anyway. Eggplant is a nightshade. People can be very allergic to nightshades. I'm not allergic to it per se, but it makes my mouth feel a little bit itchy. I deal with it sometimes just because I like it so much. But I actually haven't made it in a really long time. But okay, so how I do it, we have our alarms, our smoke alarms in our apartment are all connected. So if one goes off, they all go off. It's very annoying and it scares my kids. Yes, so I don't do these over, see, it's already making my skin burn a little bit. Okay, it's fine. I'm gonna eat it anyway. Burns in the inside and the outside. Okay. What I do is I cut them. If you're gonna do it you can do it literally on the burner on your stovetop. You have to poke holes in it or it will explode.
Yes.
Seriously, I did an experiment once. I stuck it in under the broiler and a very loud, startling pop 20 minutes later, it had exploded. It still cooked, it was still edible, but it was like a gunshot in my oven. Okay, so you poke holes in it, really be generous with the holes, do, turn it around until you get all the way around, or cut it in half like I do. And I put the broiler on high on the top shelf, and you like it. Well, now it's been sitting and it's getting its moisture back, but you see how I can just like poke my fingers through it? That's how burnt you want it to be. And then it's like about 40 minutes, because while it burns the top, it's also cooking the inside. What's really nice, if you can prepare this like a day or two in advance, and then the smoky flavor from the skin really penetrates into the flesh. I did that by accident, and my husband was like, this is the best Babaganoush you've ever made. Okay, you do not want the flesh in your dip though. Not the flesh, we're eating the flesh. You don't want the skin in your dip. I tend to leave the top because I find that it's just harder to get out. So I just leave it because I'm assuming it's not meant to be used. Okay, see that? Ooh, you can smell it. You can smell like the smokiness. So say you want to do this like on a Thursday night or a Wednesday night if you're like a really on top of life type of person. I'm not. Like sometimes it'll be like Shabbos day, be like, oh, or like Friday afternoon, I'm like, oh, can't make that type of hummus because you have to soak the chickpeas for like 12 hours. But anyway, if you are really on top of it, it's still going to taste good, not being sitting in the skin for like a day or a day and a half or whatever. Sorry, this is what I'm like at home also. Actually, no, I usually pull the garbage can up, but anyhow, we don't want that. Woo! Sorry. I do that too, and I'm not in 10th grade. Okay, so this is like the super fun part. Okay, that happens. This is a super fun part where you guys watch me scrape and scrape and scrape. Okay, did any skin come off? No. Okay, now this is generally a recipe where people use mayo. You use mayo, you cannot freeze it. You can freeze it and then find out what happens. You guys know the word coagulate? Ew. Yeah, it coagulates. It's really fun. By the way, I was having a really hard time visualizing coagulate until I got to a certain section in Rambam, and it was talking about how you know when a body becomes tuma is when the blood has coagulated. I'm like, oh, that definitely puts a picture in my mind of what coagulate means. See, we learn everything from Tyra. We don't have any mayo. Now, I just learned to add a little more techina, because the techina, I think, does the same thing better.
Could I ask?
Could you ask?
If you were to use it without the mayo and then defrost it and add the mayo.
Yes, you could do that. The question was, could you freeze it without the mayo, defrost it, and then add the mayo? Yes, you could. You definitely could do that. If you want to use mayo and you can't use mayo because you're allergic to eggs, I need to wash my hands. We're going to take a short commercial break.
Can someone help her? I don't know. She doesn't know how to use the. Should we give our viewers a look-see?
Okay. I'm back.
We have some dips in
Ooh, we're fancy town over here. Guess what I'm going to put in this?
Lemon, garlic, salt.
So much garlic, it's going to blow your mind. So I have a friend, she had a baby like a little over 3 weeks ago, and I said, I love you so much, I'm making you Babaganoush. Because she's always like, did you make Babaganoush this week? Do you have any extra? And I had stopped making it because it was literally burning my mouth. I told my husband, I couldn't figure out until my sister, I told, how many did I put in there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. That's not how you work. I was like, it tastes like I put too much garlic in there. My husband was like, no, it's perfect. And I was like, no, it tastes like it's too spicy. My sister's like, you're allergic to Babaganoush. Okay. Techina. Always shake up your bottles, no matter what it is. Unless it's like regular milk, because I don't think that stuff separates, because whatever. Your almond milk, everything, because everything sinks to the bottom, and then you don't get all the good stuff, all the pulp. You don't use as much, and you like can't look. Watch it. No, I'm kidding. Okay, Michal said at the beginning, huh? No, it's not as salty, but that's because, you know why? Because it doesn't have aluminum in it.
Also, fine salt is smaller, so
More.
fine salt can fit in a more confined space.
Yep.
So 1 teaspoon of fine salt is saltier than 1 teaspoon of kosher salt. The bigger.
I keep my salt in this because I buy it in those big containers. Don't buy it in the small shaker. The small shaker costs the exact same as the box that's 4 times bigger. You just put it in this, and you can pinch it out a little bit at a time. And if by accident you pour it over your chicken soup and it becomes fleshig.
Oh, I meant you put too much salt. I'm like,
No, you accidentally, I actually always undersalt my chicken soup, surprisingly, because I focus more on like the vegetables and stuff. My husband doesn't eat mushrooms. I love mushrooms. I do. I don't use potato. I use a lot. I use like maybe 2 containers of this for a big pot of chicken soup. I do love my garlic, but the thing is it doesn't taste like garlic. What's great is after it boils, that garlic tastes like butter. So save your garlic. We'll do another demo on chicken soup. I'm a big believer in cooking chicken soup until the vegetables, if you were to try the vegetables, they'd be disgusting, because that means that you pulled every last ounce of anything healthy out of the vegetables and there was nothing left in the vegetable. Settle your mind on that.
yeah. This whole night is. I know.
Okay, let's make it. This is easy. This is obviously the easiest one to mix because the eggplant is so watery. Look at the beauty of that. Right, and also you can tell that I didn't put mayo in it because it'd be much lighter if I put mayo in it. Good stuff. The Vitamix would make it very, very pasty. You'd have to, I would say that you would have to put in you couldn't put your garlic in like this to make sure that it was like really done. You'd have to put it in already chopped up. Hey, Rifki. Yeah, and then you'd have to really do it on slow and stop and start and make sure, because otherwise it would be, one of the nice things, I don't know how people do Babaganoush where you can still like see the seeds. I don't know how they do that.
Yep.
Oh, you blend it with your hands.
Or a mash.
And,
Oh, a masher.
and a knife, and I just go.
No, that's why I have this.
It's so easy.
Okay, who's ready to eat?
Bring them up. Bring them up.
I'd be tempted to add a lot more garlic, but I don't want to freak you guys out. Seriously, actually, my husband's Russian friend, he keeps raw cloves of garlic on the table during the winter and literally just chew, 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 swallow. And it says he never gets sick.
I'm sick.
Do it before.
My Russian uncle, my uncle eats very Russian food. So when we he buys from the Russian store all this stuff, one of them is like pickled garlic.
Pickled garlic?
It's like, or I don't know what it is. It's
We're missing a
garlic and
spoon.
vinegar or something. But that is the shop.
I'll get it.
Okay. When you say Russian food, I think of like pickled herring and beer. No, you have really, really strong herring. It has lots and lots and lots of salt. The only way to get that salt taste out is beer.
Oh, wow.
So you eat your herring and you get a little drunk. I obviously don't do that because I can't handle alcohol anymore since I became a mother. Baruch Hashem. Not to imply that I was a big drinker beforehand or anything. Oh, I didn't know the spoon. Oh yeah, it's totally you. I didn't know we were putting it in the bowl.
I also don't know.
Are you gonna eat this too? Oh man,
I'm so excited.
there's that burning mouth flavor. I know, because I really am not supposed to be eating it, but I'm like, oh, I put too much garlic in. I'm like, no, it's just that good. Oh, I know how far I can tip it. Because it's on like it's still like kind of flat. See if I was to tip it.
Let's not find out.
By the way, I've done that before. It's like, okay, I'll just scrape it again. Also, the thing about like a Vitamix, we're getting there. The thing about a Vitamix is it's easier to clean. So say, for example, the interior of this is filled with techina, and it's a pain to clean. You have to have like a special brush tool to get in there and like really clean it out. So, yeah. Oh, you don't have to wash it. Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Yay! And that's a wrap. What time is it?
I think you're on.
What's?
Oh my gosh, you're perfect.
What time is it? Oh wow! I went way longer. Who's not surprised by that?
Way longer.
No. I thought I meant. I thought I went way shorter.
Yeah.
See, if I have to give like a class was based on like Torah.
You did a lot of Torah. You taught us about the nuts of Rosh Hashanah. You taught us about Rambam and coagulated blood.
Woohoo!
You taught us about the cutting off the ends of the garlic and the eggs.
Onion. Oh, so I buy the pre-peeled garlic because I don't have time. But this has a hechsher on it, and your own Rev, the head is still intact. All the broken up, the heads I cut off are in here. So the heads are still intact. So we were talking about tuma, and that if you cut off the head of garlic, you cut off the head of an onion, and you take the peel off of an egg, you have to put a covering on either salt or olive oil. And it has to be olive oil. Then
It has to be everywhere, right?
it has to cover it. It has to cover it. Also, I mean, like with olives, you're actually supposed to serve olives in olive oil.
Is that just a bit? No?
Just a bit. I always put way too much. Yeah. Mix it up. Yep. Actually just bought garlic stuffed olives today from Benzies. You want a good like punch in the mouth from your food.
Not from your kids.
Not from your kids. No, I had a child that was not my own when I was a teacher who sneezed right in my mouth. Gave me no warning whatsoever. I did not get sick. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Okay. Naomi,
Woo!
you are incredible.
Now come to Crown Heights and enjoy the dips.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Then they present beautifully.
All this beautiful. Woo! Yes.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. 1, 2, 3. Oh my gosh, yes, guys, we need to do selfie. Come.
Selfie.
You're the best.
By the way, I feel like I am like this at my Shabbos table anyway. Yeah? Like, okay, I'm just going to tell you how it works and how it's okay.
Sorry.
By the way, that's why my kids step on my feet all the time because I'm always sticking my feet out like that. Anybody else? Did that happen to anybody else?
I think I'm short.
Everybody, 1, 2, 3. Oh, wait. Can you not hold my hand awkward, please? 1, 2, 3. Yay!
Woohoo!
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. Now eat some dips. Would you like some?
What's the orange one?
This is roasted red pepper with techina. Would you like?
Yes, we are about to give out recipes.
Oh, well, it just so happened I wrote them all down for posterity's sake. Yeah, they're here. Oh, they're wet. Oops. I don't.